Okay, so here's Linda VanD with TV Wars First Blood Part 2. So now you know what First Blood is about, or do you? Maybe you, maybe you don't quite yet. You will in the next. Okay, you will in the next lecture, where I will actually play a little clip from First Blood Part 2. So that's the reference here as to the Rambo movie. So TV wars, and this is a lot of the way that we saw and interacted with the first Gulf War, which is what this is about, is by television, because the news, everything that was updated, was being updated on CNN, and so as I will talk about, the 1991 war really was made by CNN, and it also made CNN. They were co-constitutive. CNN stayed in Baghdad. They covered the war, and the war also made CNN into a media power. Okay, so here's TV wars. Beside the ship leaving port for the hot, dry Gulf, the white-haired woman says, "I'm proud of my grandson. He has to go to protect our interests. Dear lady, your interest just left on that ship." Okay, so this is, I think, an open, fairly open text. I don't think it needs a lot of discussion, and that's partly why it just works, because it's like kapow. And there are these little, there is at the same time a lot of complexity packed into this little spot. She talks about the hot, dry Gulf. This is really nice. The hot, dry Gulf there's a particular way of. Hold on a second. Thanks for the spam. Thanks for the junk call. Using the language, if you notice that line, each word is one syllable only for the hot, dry Gulf, and it tends to slow the pace down in this way. This is a really old technique in poetry. It goes back at least 400 years at this point in English. I don't know. I know that Latin, that poetry written by the Romans. I don't know enough about that. Not my area. And then there's sort of this discussion between, she overhears, so presumably she's observing this. This embarkation, pardon me. And so the grandmother has a little sort of speech, and then VanD, presumably, or her narrator, responds with a sort of letter. "Dear lady, comma." So it's like, "Dear lady, your interest just left on that ship." So there's this very sort of this, what begins as a letter and then turns to be absolute, sort of like, here's the truth. Okay, and then